This is Algebra 2, Lesson 5.2, Exponential Functions. So an exponential function is in the form y equals a times b to the power of x, where a represents the y-intercept, or the starting number, b represents the ratio, and x would be how much time has gone by, or how many iterations, how many times you've done the ratio. We have three different ways to get the ratio. We can get the ratio, if you remember geometric sequences from chapter 1, where we take the second number and divide it by the first number. We could also get the ratio doing percent change. If we have a percent increase situation, we do 1 plus the percentage, or a percent decrease situation, 1 minus the percentage. So for example, if I have a 12% increase, my ratio would be 1 plus 0.12, which is 1.12. Example A says, most automobiles depreciate as they get older. Suppose an automobile that originally costs $14,000 depreciates by 20% of its value every year. So that's a percent decrease situation. 1 minus 20% is 0.8. That's the value that I'll use for my ratio. I know my starting number. I did my side calculation for my ratio. There's my equation that represents my situation. So if I want to know how much this car is worth after 2.5 years, now I can just substitute the value 2.5 in for the exponent. And I have a handy dandy calculator. After 2.5 years, the car is worth a little over $8,000. When is the automobile worth half of its initial value? So same equation, but the question is, what value for x will give me an output of 7,000. That's half of my starting of 14,000. So we actually don't have the tools to solve this question yet. We're going to use something called logarithms a couple lessons into the chapter. But at this point, I'm just going to guess and check. I'm going to try different values for my exponent until I get pretty close to 7,000. That's pretty close. A little high, so maybe 3.2. And that's a little too far. That's probably close enough for me. I would say 3.1 years. So just try different values for my exponent until I get as close as I can to the answer I'm looking for. So I would say about 3.1 years. Example B asks me to write an exponential equation given 3 numbers in a geometric sequence. I need 2 things. I need the starting value, which it gives me, and I need the ratio. Since I have a list of numbers, I'll find that ratio by dividing the second number divided by the first number. So I can write my equation, and that will give me the numbers in the list. So if I wanted the next number, I could put up a 4, put up a 5, put up a 6, keep getting them. Letter C asks me to solve 3 different exponential equations, and like I said, we don't have the tools to solve these yet. We need to learn about logarithms, which will happen later in the chapter. So at this point in time, we're honestly just going to use guess and check. So, tools, strategies, I know that if I have a value and it's going to get larger, I will need a positive number. If I have a value and it's going to get smaller, I know that I will need a decimal. If I'm working with fractions anywhere, that value will be negative. So guess and check, get as close as you can to the right answer, and we'll talk about how to solve later on in the chapter. That's it. Good luck with the exercises, and let me know if you have any questions.